Hey guys, it's Diana Felix, and my presentation is called Are the Highly Educated More Liberal? First of all, education helps form your values. The amount of education an individual develops throughout his or her lifetime definitely plays a key role in shaping their values or perspectives. These values dictate what opinions an individual has on economic, social, environmental, racial, and political matters. And I also added an image with the political spectrum, which ranges from communism and fascism. And as you can see, I am basing my research off of liberalism, and it falls a little more to the left, so keep that in mind. So first things first, the issue is that many are not receiving an education to begin with. A study conducted by the Labor Department's Bureau of Labor Statistics concluded that 72% of participants under the age of 27 did not have degrees, and that's definitely a large number. And that's an issue since a lot of people are not being educated. You're not really open to new perspectives or values, which could definitely change your views. Having a higher education also gives people an overall knowledge one doesn't just simply receive in primary or secondary school. Having this much more knowledge allows individuals to develop their own perspectives and agenda rather than that traditionalistic mindset they often are conformed to. I know I can speak for myself that in high school, I was not really introduced to very different values. I went to a very traditional school where all the teachers always kept to themselves, so I know that after I began college, I seen a lot more of liberal professors, and they are definitely not afraid of speaking their mind, which is sometimes a good thing or a bad thing, just because many students don't like when professors are a little biased and are very open, such as the person I interviewed, which was my old high school teacher. That was one issue he had in college. But other than that, definitely not receiving an education is an issue. So 4 key questions in the rebuttal question. I created 4 questions that will help answer my primary question, which is, are the highly educated more liberal? And I created these 4 questions after I kind of had like a broad overview of what I wanted to write, because these questions, I wrote a little more, but these were the ones that interested me the most. The first being is, what courses, events incited a liberal mindset? And number 2 is, do professors contribute to students' ideological shifts throughout college? Number 3 is, what is the number of students that begin their higher education studies as conservative and become liberal over time, or vice versa? The last one is, how do the highly educated differ from the general population? And then I also created a rebuttal question, since obviously I have to challenge my thesis, and which is, why do some, despite of so much education, remain conservative? And for my interview, I interviewed my AP US history teacher from high school, Mr. Schneider. I chose him because he is a social science teacher, so he definitely does have a bit more of an understanding with, I guess, more liberal or conservative. He's more familiar with that since he does teach a topic that kind of relates towards history and stuff like that. And so he began having his education. He began his education as an undergrad, having a moderate to conservative perspective. He said that he became liberal after events such as 9/11 and the wars following the attack and he's definitely very liberal on social and environmental issues. And he also, one issue that he did have is that he believes that professors, whether they're liberal or conservative or whatever they believe in, they shouldn't push their students to make a side or that he believes they shouldn't be so open about their beliefs, because that does kind of limit students. I guess it does open them new perspectives, but it also limits them to just that. And he also believes that having an education makes individuals think more critically. He says that's a very big difference between like the general population and those that are highly educated. And basically the bottom line is he began as an undergrad with a very conservative mindset, and he became liberal after terrorist attacks. And he also believed that he also said that professors did not shift his views, but peers and events did, which was very interesting, since one of my questions is asking whether professors change students' perspectives and values. Okay, so one of my sources I analyzed was the social and political views of American professors. A survey done in 1972 shows that 44.1% of survey respondents consider themselves liberal, in contrast to the 9.2% professors that consider themselves conservatives, and the 44% are American professors, so definitely that's a very big number of liberals. And a quote I got from the paper was, "It is well established in the sociology of higher education literature that college students between their freshman and senior years tend to undergo a liberalization in terms of socio-political, religious, and gender role attitudes. Students become more liberal during college through exposure to liberal professors who open them up to new ways of thinking. This quote shows that liberal professors often introduce their perspectives to students, and that gives individuals new ways of thinking. This working paper by Neil Gross and Solon Simmons answers my question. Liberal professors often incite change in their students, but that's not always the case, like I said with my U.S. history teacher that I interviewed. Another source is the sources of political orientations in post-industrial society, social class, and education revisited. It's written by Herman G. van der Werfhorst, and she studied the role of education on political affiliation. The author highly emphasizes how, depending the level of education one might have, it depends what political affiliation an individual will have, which often leads to a more liberal point of view for many. The author states that education allows students to have expanded qualities when looking at certain issues, which is why more educated people are more liberal. And the importance of this, so the relevance of my research, it's to show how higher education affects students, because students are definitely the future of the world, and the more educated people are, the more society will think critically about many issues such as global warming and discrimination. And to conclude, higher education does make students more liberal. The transition of views happens through a wide range of ways: professors, events, peers, courses, etc. Thank you guys for watching my presentation, and I hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a little bit more about higher education and liberal values. Thank you guys.